Hello, good morning guys, welcome to today's video. I have a different kind of style video for you today, an interview video with a good guy. He's a good character, I like him. Lives in the Philippines, Paul, expat, retiree, also lived in Thailand. Also has a YouTube channel with over 60,000 subscribers, so interesting character. Should be a good chat, so let's go and meet Paul. I don't usually do interviews on our channel, but got Paul here.
Hello everybody.
I met you I met you from Gary.
Right.
Gary.
Right.
Great guy as well, Gary.
Awesome.
So I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
Paul's a fellow YouTuber, lives in the Philippines.
I do.
Here on holiday?
I am here on holiday, yes. Well, to start off, I'm American. I retired at 62 and needed a change.
Yeah.
Life was not working the way I wanted it to.
Didn't like.
And had its ups and downs and its moments. So I needed a change, and I decided to go halfway around the world and see if that helped.
Yeah.
So
you moved to...
5.5 years ago, I moved to Dumaguete, Philippines.
Ah.
And I've been there ever since.
Nice.
And having lived there 5 years, I was able to shed a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of just issues and whatnot, and got a fresh start, a reboot, if you will. Sort of
kind of issues,
second chance,
Issues from living in America?
Yeah, man. Just, 2 divorces. I had kids that went off the reservation. I had a job that was extremely stressful. I had chronic back pain. Just went through a litany of issues that was just taking its toll on me. And I think stress is the #1 killer of men.
Right, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was going through a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And like you, way prior to me moving there, in 2005, I visited Thailand.
Right.
And after I was here, I was hooked. It was like
Thailand.
Yeah. At the time, it was Thailand.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to live here.
Yeah.
I came back in 2009 and lived here for a year, and then went back home. Had to finish work, wait till I was retirement age so I could have an income stream.
Right.
I found that to be very imperative for me. I always wanted to make sure that I always had a roof over my head.
Some money.
I always had food in my stomach, and a monthly budget was, to me, was imperative.
Yeah.
I wasn't as brave as you.
Yeah.
Coming out with a lump
I don't
sum.
have that.
And
or stupid.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But life is to be tested and to be tried, and you've got to give it the shot.
Yeah.
And I gave it 6 months. I said, okay, when I moved to the Philippines 5.5 years ago, I gave it 6 months. And I had enough money to get a plane ticket home. And if I didn't work, or if I didn't like it, I could just go back to the grind. I called it Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Because every day was just like the last one.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's going to be the same as today. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to come home. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to eat dinner, and then I'm going to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And then on my day off, I was going to go run errands.
That's
and that was it.
Yeah.
And there was no life. There was just nothing to it. And through the Philippines, it's like being reborn. It was just, I was
all
able
new.
to...
Everything's new and fresh.
Challenging.
Yeah.
You're trying to get used to the money, the language, the people, the culture, just the transportation, where to live, how to drive, driving a scooter at my age as opposed to a car. I'm no spring chicken. I'm 67
you like driving
years old.
the scooter?
I like driving the scooter, but it's getting to the point where I'm going to need a car, just for safety reasons. And so,
and weather conditions.
And
I'm glad you mentioned Thailand, that you lived here as well, because I kind of want to make this little interview, not comparing but maybe why you chose the Philippines over Thailand.
Fair question.
But
fair question.
I think you just answered the first question I was going to ask. So, like, when did you move to the Philippines? 2005.
Well, no, I didn't move here. I came here on a recon mission. I came with Gary. Gary
to the Philippines?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, to Thailand. But to the Philippines. I apologize. I misunderstood. On I watched YouTube videos about the Philippines, and I just went there without a recon mission. I just said I'll give it 6 months.
Yeah, and see how you get on.
I see how it goes. The reason I picked the Philippines over Thailand was 2 primary reasons.
Yeah.
Number 1 was language. English is much more spoken.
Yeah.
Much more fluently over
Everyone
there than it is
speaks
here.
nearly everyone.
Everyone speaks a little bit, as we say here, or a lot. There's degrees of how much English they speak, and the visa was so simple.
Yeah.
You can live there for 3 years. You just keep renewing. You have to leave the country for 24 hours after 3 years, come back and start all over again. It's that simple.
It's that easy. Well, yeah,
it's
a lot easier.
That easy.
A lot easier than Thailand.
A lot easier than Thailand. And so Thailand, I just felt that when I lived out here, I was doing those border runs,
Yeah.
and those were a drag. I was having
be a pain.
to do that, and it just was wearisome. So I thought, what the hell? If I don't like the Philippines, I can always bug over to Thailand. And finally, 5.5 years later, here I am. I'm on vacation with my girlfriend, Baby May.
In Thailand.
Yeah, in Thailand.
And your girlfriend, Baby May, from the Philippines.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how long you been together?
We're going on 4 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
So good. So you lived there 5. You met her like 1 year after being there.
Actually, I've met her about 2 years after being there. We're about 3.5 years in. So.
Okay, so.
I think round numbers, I was single for 2 years, met Baby May, and so about 3.5 years. She rounds it up to 4.
So one of the questions I had, yeah, she rounds it up. Yeah. One of the questions I had was, what was the catalyst that made you move there? You kind of already said a little bit, but was there anything that like really triggered you to go?
Yeah. Aside from the emotional nonsense and all that I needed, I know I needed a change, but it was primarily economic. I knew how much I was going to get on my Social Security check, and I knew that wasn't going to cut it in America. So I started Googling a couple of years before I hit my retirement age, cheap places to live in the world.
Right, yeah.
Where to retire on $1,000 a month. Where to retire on $1,500 a month. And I started watching YouTube videos from all over the world. Yeah. And I just kind of narrowed it down and narrowed it down and narrowed it down. And I pulled the trigger on the Philippines. Because it fit my budget. Yeah. And I've been able to live there on my Social Security check and come under budget every month.
Okay, so that's a good question of those. Comparing Thailand and the Philippines, is it much cheaper?
It's more expensive in the Philippines.
It's more expensive in the Philippines?
That's my, and I've only been here in 30 days this time, but, and things have gone up everywhere.
Yes, it's getting more expensive
here. Getting more expensive here, it's getting more expensive in the Philippines. But I would have to say that you get a lot more bang for your buck. I've set my budget at about $1,700 a month in the Philippines. That's about what I stick to. 15, 17, sometimes $2,000. You know, it varies. But I've already done the comparisons out here, and I can live out here on that same number, if you will.
$1,700 a month.
Yes, sir. I could live out here on that.
Yeah, you can.
But I think the quality of life would actually be improved. Oh, wow. Infrastructure.
That's interesting.
Food,
I thought it'd be the other way. I thought it'd be cheaper.
Philippines is not as cheap as you think it might be. Right. It's going up, at least where I live.
Yeah. Well, I think everywhere I get to meet. Well, we both do YouTube. I get to meet so many people. That's the good thing about here, and everyone is saying, "Oh, well, you know, life back at home for me, UK, USA, Europe." Everyone's just saying the prices of everything are just going
psycho,
crazy. Yeah,
psycho.
It's so hard. You're just trapped in that rat race. Work, like you say, work, sleep, eat, repeat.
Yeah,
and you've got to do that just to survive.
I called it. The way I used to paraphrase it was, I said, you know what? I live in a box, and then I get in my little box and I drive to a big box.
Yeah.
And I go to work. Okay.
Socialize with some other people in that box.
And then I get in my little box and I drive back to my box. I bring home dinner from Jack in the Box, and I sit at home and watch the box.
Yeah.
You know, so
watch TV.
I was boxed in.
Yeah.
And so out in the Philippines, I found that I could just sit back. I could actually retire. I could actually do what I want, when I want, where I want, how I want, and not suffer financially from it. Right. And in fact, I've been able to save more money in the last 5 years living in the Philippines than I was able to save my first 62 years
Really?
in America.
Another question was going to be, how did you get into YouTube? What made you start your channel, etc.? And you know, other than you're retired,
Yeah.
but you must have another income stream.
Well, I now have an income stream from YouTube.
Yeah.
But my compulsion, or not a compulsion, but my motivation to do YouTube was zero when I got to the Philippines. I had played with the idea before I left the States, and I thought when I got there, I said, nah, that's not for me. You got to buy a bunch of equipment, you got to have GoPros, you got to have drones. I talked myself out of it.
Yeah,
and I said, there's absolutely, positively no way, and I don't want to work, I don't want to show up. And so I lived there for 2 years, and YouTube didn't even cross my mind. But I was doing Facebook videos from family and friends, and I was saying, hey, this is my apartment, hey, this is the beach, and this is where I'm eating, and my family and my friends back at home would watch it, and a couple of people, I guess, that I met in the Philippines would watch it, and that was that. I had like 100 people or friends on Facebook. And then one day I was feeling kind of melancholy, and I was having sort of an emotional moment, if you will. And I just sat down, I set my phone up on the table, and I just talked to myself for 30 minutes about why I moved to the Philippines.
Talk to yourself while you were filming yourself.
Therapeutic. It was like I had all these problems, I had all these issues, and how after 2 years, how insignificant they were to me now. 2 years later.
What, living in the Philippines?
Yeah, by living in the Philippines.
Right,
it actually sort of like just cured me.
Changed your mindset.
And you know, you start to sweat the small stuff when you're always involved in the family dramas and all that kind of stuff. And so that video itself, it was called Why I Moved to the Philippines. A bunch of YouTubers saw it, and actually one guy said, can I put that video on my channel? I've never seen content like that before.
Right.
And I said, sure. You know, it's public. I don't care.
That's good. That's
good. Away he went, and he got like 5,000 or 6,000 views on it, and 999 comments, by the way.
Oh, right, yeah. No, that's a big thing. That's
it was 999.
Wow. That's a lot of comments, and I think that is because you just said you filmed yourself talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You're not talking to an audience or thinking about other people. You're being real, genuine, and I think that's what people want.
It was just something I needed to get off my chest, you know, and so. Partially it was talking to an audience, but it was really just my gut feelings, what I went through, and I was just it was storytelling. I was just talking about this incident, that incident, and what went right, what went wrong, and that went wrong, and that went wrong. And so guys picked up on it, and they ground on me to start a YouTube channel. And I kept resisting them. I said, no, I don't want to do YouTube, bro. I'll do Facebook. You know? And one guy named Monty,
get off Facebook, man.
A guy named Monty Crew called me up, and he said, I'm coming over and talking to you. And he came over, and he said, you have to do a YouTube channel. I said, why? He said, well, you can make a couple $100 a month. And I said, well, that's okay. I mean, that would be a nice little boost. And he says, but you know what? It would be a video diary for you and your kids and your grandkids. And I thought about that.
Yeah.
And I said, sold. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I like that idea. And so he was kind enough to do all the technical stuff, because I don't know what to do. And he set up my YouTube channel for me. And he was doing my thumbnails. I didn't know how to do a thumbnail. I didn't know anything. So I would do it. He goes, you just make a video and give it to me, and I'll take care of the rest. And he did that for me for about 3 months. And then I was on my own, and that's kind of the genesis of my channel.
That's how you got into it.
Yeah.
And when you got into it, after you started it, then you just found that you actually enjoyed doing it.
I did. I found it to be fun. And then the timing couldn't have been better, because I started it really just before the pandemic hit.
Right. Same
as
me.
Now,
as me.
I had just met Baby May. We were living together, and we were quarantined, or we were not allowed to leave the house.
Yeah, there's something to do.
And I was too old to go to the friggin' market.
Really? All right, the rules. Really?
Yeah. May could go shopping, but I couldn't go with her. And it was like, what, old people are supposed to starve? I don't get it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
crazy.
It gave us something to do.
Yeah.
It gave me a purpose and an activity, and then we were having fun with it. We were like, hey, let's try this. Let's do that. Let's bring this person over. Let's do an interview. I didn't know how to interview anybody.
Yeah. It's like you can make mistakes and learn along the way. That's the good thing about it, I think.
And the beauty of it is when I got started, the guy, I still have guys that were with me from day one.
Yeah, same.
And so they have watched the metamorphosis and the change and
how
the
it's
growth,
changed, and how you become more comfortable.
How cool it is that they've watched my life unfold and how it's changed, and I get to share it. And the biggest benefit to me about YouTube is what you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
It's the connection that I make with people all over the world. Now, we got some snarks out there, of course. Okay, they're going to attack you. But they're in the minority. So I have met some of the greatest people on the planet.
I've got friends now, proper, real friends. I never thought that would happen.
No.
You know, we'll probably be lifelong friends from doing YouTube. I didn't think I would actually meet anyone.
No. You know,
I'm meeting people every day.
Right. And you've got a point where people can come in and see you.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was 6 months ago, 7 months now, it's been about maybe 8, I went back to the States to see my father because he's 97 and wasn't feeling well and all that. And actually had meetups, meet and greets in both Las Vegas and in LA. And like 30, 40 people showed up at each event. So that was just like, made lifelong friends. They made friends with each other. So it's been super rewarding.
It's like bringing people together.
Yeah, man. It's just creating this community.
That's why I like doing it, because of, I don't know, just what you can do. I get a bit bored sometimes of making just wishy-washy vlogs. Like, I want to actually do something good.
I agree. And words are powerful, you know, and what you say is powerful. And influencing people is powerful. And so we try to keep it positive. We try to keep it definitely truthful, and we try to keep it as honest as humanly possible.
We started our channel in March 2020, maybe around a similar time. I'm going to put a link to Paul's channel, by the way. Guys, check it out. What's it called again? Old Dog New Tricks.
Well, it's Paul in the Philippines, Old Dog New Tricks.
Paul in the Philippines, Old Dog New Tricks. I'll link it in there.
It's like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but different.
Okay, so I've got another question here.
All right.
If you could go back in time 5 years with your current mindset, 5 years, I didn't know that you lived there 5 years.
Okay.
What one bit of advice would you give to your former self?
Oh, wow, that's an awesome question.
Someone else asked me this. I nicked it off someone else.
Wow, that's really making me think. This is not something I'm used to doing.
Have a think.
You're not supposed to do this. You know, let me remind you, I'm elderly.
I get what I'm going to say.
What would I tell myself? Don't take it so seriously.
Life.
Yeah, have fun with it. Enjoy it, embrace it, do it. And you know what? Yesterday's gone, today's brand new, tomorrow hasn't happened yet. So let's just make the most of what we got today.
Live in the moment now.
Live in the moment.
And
you know what? Try to be a better man. And try to do something for somebody other than you. And not focus. I was unhappy, Richie, to be totally candid with you. The unhappiest I've ever been was when I was thinking always about myself. All about me. Me this, me that. Poor me, big me, ego me, I'm doing great, I'm doing lousy. Me. And when you get out of that mindset and get back to what we were talking about, community, other people, helping, contributing, you know, or staying out of the way sometimes.
Don't get involved in all the crap.
Don't get involved in some of it.
Stuff that's going on.
And that's exactly what I would tell myself. Quit sweating the small stuff.
Good answer.
Thank you. Not bad for an old fart.
You pulled that out of somewhere. Okay, so we don't want to say one is better than the other, but comparing the two, you know, comparing Thailand, you've lived in Thailand for a little while. You lived in Philippines for 5 years. Comparing the two, like, you know, I would also give a bit of advice to someone else maybe sat at home thinking, I'm going to retire to Thailand or the I do meet quite a lot of people actually. They're stuck about which one should they retire, which country should they retire in. you know, which one to go to?
Good question. It's hard to pinpoint because they both got their positives and they both got their negatives.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest negative for me right now with Thailand is the visa situation with my girlfriend slash fiance, man.
Yeah.
I'd have to work that out.
Oh yeah.
The English here is tough,
Yeah.
or lack of is tough. I think, can I give you a political answer? But it's the truth. I mean, I sound like a politician. I really think that my original plan when I moved out to the Philippines, of course the pandemic wiped out a lot of those hopes and dreams for a long time, was to use Dumaguete, the Philippines, as kind of a home base.
Yeah.
And so I think what the overall plan eventually is going to be is that I'm going to continue to do that because I can live there very cheaply. Even though I said it's more expensive there than here, I've got a really good deal in my house. You know, and your rent's the main thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I can
Rent,
maintain that. And then I want to spend a month here and a month there. And I think I'll continue to use the Philippines as a home base, simply because I've got the motorbike there, I've got this there, I've got that there. May's got family there, and
Do you ever go to some of the islands like Boracay and Palau? Is it Palau?
Yeah, I haven't been to those, but
Yeah,
I've been to other places, and that just doesn't float my boat anymore.
Really?
No, because each island has its own personality. Some of it has its own language. It's very tribal over there. So we've gone, we've looked, but at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same. There's a much more variety in Thailand. So I could see if we could work it out that May and I would maybe live here for 3 months, the Philippines for 3 months, and then pop
travel
into
around
Malaysia for 3 months. That's the ultimate.
And
then it just boils down to money.
Continue your YouTube.
Continue the YouTube.
Doing
YouTube's portable. You know, you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. The channel went way down when I came over here.
The channel was doing well.
Well, it's doing well, but it went way down when I came over here.
Yeah,
it went way down when I went to America.
The Philippines gets more views than Thailand for sure.
Absolutely. Not to mention that my handle is Paul in the Philippines.
Right.
It's not Paul in Thailand.
Okay,
so got to take that into account.
Yeah. Well,
if we do travel, I'm going to have to change the name of the channel.
Yeah, but Paul in the Philippines and he's now on holiday in Thailand.
Paul on the run.
Well, yeah, I think we covered all bases there. Thanks a lot for the chat, Paul. And like I said, I'll link Paul's channel below.
I appreciate that, Richie.
Jump on there, check him out.
Thanks so much.
I like your, you know, you're real. Like what I'm trying to do, just be real, honest, and just say it how it is. You know?
Yeah, you know, I think that's why
people like that.
I said this in my video. We just did a video with him on my channel.
Yeah.
And what
I'll link that as well.
And what I told him was, and I mean it, and it's not because he's sitting next to me. I don't watch YouTube, guys. I might glance at them. There's a few guys I'm friends with, so I'll see what they're talking about for 5 minutes, and then I bail out. Because if I'm not being entertained or informed or whatever, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But you are the one channel that I recently got turned on to, and I relate to you. And I appreciate your style and your candor and your honesty, just the way that you conduct yourself. And you've got a new fan, brother.
Nice one.
I mean,
Thank you, man.
You will get a lot of views from the old dog.
Thank you. Thank you, mate.
It's my
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot. Thanks
my
for
pleasure.
doing the video. And yeah,
Thanks
check
for
them out,
having
guys.
me on.
That's it, and we'll see you in the next video.
Next time.
Out.